Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the Scottish Charity Awards 2020, the first virtual Scottish Charity Awards ever. I've been hosting the awards in their more traditional form for quite a few years now, and I love doing it. I chair a charity myself, and I know how much it means to have your work recognised and appreciated by your peers. And every year I just get blown away by the ideas, the achievements, and in many cases the sheer pizzazz of the finalists. And I know that tonight is going to be no exception. In the past few years, we've celebrated the awards with full glam and glitter at the EICC in Edinburgh. Well, I'm still at the EICC in glorious isolation, but still I'm here. And as you see, I've pulled out the very glitziest frock from the wardrobe, even if I have got my trainers on underneath. Haha, you don't know if I'm joking or not, do you? The big difference is that you and the lucky winners, when they find out who they are joining us digitally rather than in the flesh. But that's fine. We're still live. And I hope that wherever you're tuning in, you'll raise the winners a glass and give them an enormous clap and cheer them to the rooftops. And it's great to know that we've got more people joining us to do just that tonight than ever before. And it's terrific because the Scottish Charity Awards are an opportunity to recognise and celebrate the very best that Scotland's voluntary sector has to offer. This year, the judges had to choose between hundreds and hundreds of entries to select the 45 fabulous finalists we'll have the pleasure of hearing about tonight. Every one of them a great reminder of the tenacity and the dedication that people in Scotland's voluntary sector demonstrate day in and day out. I'm going to hand over now to Anna Fowley, Chief Executive of SCVO, to welcome you all formally. Anna.
Hello, good evening. Thank you very much, Sally. A special welcome to all our guests this evening who are joining us from all across the country and beyond. Hello, Grace. A special welcome to all our sponsors and, more importantly, our finalists for 2020. This year's shortlist highlights just how diverse Scotland's voluntary sector is and the fantastic work that's happened between our last awards ceremony in 2019 and the end of March this year, which was a bit of a crucial cut-off point. Of course, much of the work that we're celebrating this year predates the coronavirus pandemic, which has disrupted all aspects of our lives in 2020. Our communities and the charities, voluntary groups and social enterprises that they rely on have been under enormous pressure. As Scotland's voluntary sector has never been more needed and will be essential to Scotland's recovery, as well as being crucial in the immediate crisis response. You'll have seen that SCVO has been leading the Never More Needed campaign in Scotland to bring to life for government, for councils, for funders, for donors and for the wider public just how essential and diverse the voluntary sector is. We've been asking people to share their experiences using the hashtag #NeverMoreNeeded, and we've caught up with a few of them just ahead of tonight's event to highlight just how vital the sector has been over the past 6 months. So let's have a look at that now and then enjoy the Charity Awards 2020.
I think the response from the community and third sector has been nothing short of inspiring. I've seen that here in the town that I stay in, the constituency that I represent, and also across the country as the Cabinet Secretary with responsibility for this across government. The community organisations that have emerged in response to their local need have been phenomenal, and so too has the way the third sector how it's adapted with real agility to respond to the emerging needs that they were faced with and the challenges that they were having to cope with.
Peak is a children's charity. We're based in the East End of Glasgow, but we operate across the city. Prior to COVID, we provided play, creative arts and community development projects for children and young people and families impacted by poverty. Lockdown for us basically meant having to stop all direct delivery services with our families and really look at what we could do in terms of a crisis response. With that, food has always been a part of what Peak does, and luckily for us, we got our mobile food truck Pikachu, the keys of that literally a week before lockdown, so it was a huge bonus for us to get that.
The community had risen to the challenge of supporting people most in need, but really what was essential was that was coordinated and it was escalated where someone was actually really needing quite intensive support. So, for example, we worked very closely with the Stirling Council Communities team to staff a central contact number that people could call if they were needing support. So there was one number, they knew who they could contact when they needed help, and they knew that support was coming to them.
There was challenges at either end of the spectrum, whether it was those that suddenly had to ramp up their services because they were needed more than ever, to those that were almost having to wind down because they couldn't deliver because they couldn't have the contact that they needed.
If you think back down to lockdown, you know, lots of places were shutting up shop, people were being furloughed, whereas the third sector were right there on people's doorsteps, right in the front line, on the coalface as we always are, never giving up, always looking to see how we can help people.
It's absolutely critical that we don't just take the third sector and communities for granted. Undoubtedly going forward, it's going to be challenging. We're not going to be able to do everything for everyone. That's the hard side of it. But we should also not take the effort that we've seen and witnessed over the last 5 months for granted. And it's incumbent on us all, whether you're a politician or an individual, to make sure that we say thank you for what has happened. And I think for the awards, it gives us a moment and a real chance to really articulate strongly and powerfully to the sector our gratitude for everything that has gone on over the last 5 months.
I want to send my very best wishes to everyone involved in this year's Scottish Charity Awards. For all of us, these past 6 months have been incredibly tough. In COVID-19, we have faced and we continue to face an unprecedented challenge. But what is always heartening is the way in which our country has come together to meet that challenge head on. Scotland's charities and our third sector have been absolutely crucial to that. Throughout the pandemic so far, you've helped to deliver health and care services to those who need them most. You've supported people in coping with the impact of the crisis by helping them with necessities like food, accommodation and financial assistance. And you've helped tackle loneliness and kept people connected at a time when that has been more important than ever before. In addition, you've done all of that while dealing with the huge pressures that everybody has faced as individuals, and while of course coping with the logistical and financial challenges that COVID has caused for your organisations. The Scottish Government hugely appreciates the work of our charities and third sector organisations, not just in response to this pandemic, although particularly in the face of that, but we appreciate it at all times. You help quite simply to make Scotland a better, fairer and stronger society. Tonight's awards are all about recognising and celebrating that fact. So I'm delighted that they've been able to go ahead, albeit in this virtual format. I want to thank the SCVO for organising the awards. Most of all, I want to thank all of you for the fantastic work that you've done and continue to do. It really does make an enormous difference. Thank you.
And thank you very much to Nicola Sturgeon for that very warm message, and to the organisations in the Never More Needed clip. What a great snapshot that was, wasn't it, of the work that's being done in the sector to support our communities during the pandemic. Now to tonight's ceremony. The event's going to last roughly an hour. We'll have a short break halfway through so you can top up your glasses or run to the loo. And remember that, as always, we're using the hashtag #ScotCharityAwards. So please go ahead and tweet throughout the ceremony. Send us photos of your celebrations wherever you are in the country. Let's go viral with celebration. One thing we can't do, of course, is physically hand over the awards to the winners tonight, but never fear, they will be sent on safely and securely by special delivery in due course. So with all that said, let's get started. Up first is Cracking Campaign. And here to present the category is Richard King from SGN.
Thank you, Sally. The first award of the evening is Cracking Campaign, sponsored by SGN. Campaigning is at the very centre of so much that voluntary sector organisations do, and the creativity and determination of many of this year's entries demonstrates what can be achieved even with a modest budget. We have 5 finalists in this category that have all achieved a significant change to making a better and fairer society. So let's hear more about them before I reveal the winner.
First up is the Coalition for Equal Protection from Barnardo's Scotland, Children First and NSPCC Scotland. The Coalition wants to see a society and culture where no violence against children is acceptable. To achieve this, the organisations involved gave evidence, campaigned and told children's and families' stories to ensure policymakers heard loud and clear the evidence about the impact of physical punishment and the views of children and families. Together, they made history. Scotland is the first country in the UK to end the physical punishment of children, something we can all be proud of. Next, we have Saving Cool Links campaign from the Conservation Coalition. Cool Links is one of the most important places for nature in Scotland. This unique dune system on the Sutherland coast is home to more than 1,200 species. The campaign to save the site from a golf course development saw 7 leading Scottish conservation charities work together over 5 years. The Conservation Coalition fought for Cool Links at a lengthy public inquiry and mobilised tens of thousands of individuals to stand up for nature. Their long-term campaign was successful, and in February 2020, the Scottish Government decided to stop development of the site from going ahead. Our third finalist is Living Streets Scotland with the Pavement Parking Ban campaign. Scottish Parliament's decision to ban pavement parking is the culmination of 10 years campaigning from Living Streets Scotland. It is the first nationwide ban in the UK and means safer streets for all, particularly benefiting people with wheelchairs, visual impairments or buggies. Those who feel trapped in their homes due to blocked paths will now be able to enjoy a new freedom. The campaign generated widespread support, coordinating actions that led to thousands of responses. This work created the Responsible Parking Alliance, comprising member organisations from across the voluntary sector. Kingdom Off-Road Motorcycle Club are next with their Leavenmouth Anti-Social Behaviour Diversion Group. Kingdom Off-Road aims to develop young people through motorcycle-related activities. It provides off-road motorcycling opportunities and access to controlled, dedicated off-road track areas for an effective, unique alternative to antisocial behaviour in relation to illegal motorcycle use. The team use focused group work to educate, challenge and change attitudes, while teaching motorcycle maintenance, motocross activities and increasing physical fitness of young people through a supported sporting pathway. Referrals include disadvantaged youths, young offenders and anyone showing a genuine interest in the sport. And finally is the Right to Vote campaign from Maryhill Integration Network, Scottish Refugee Council and British Red Cross. Not having the right to vote was an ongoing issue impacting many refugees' basic human right to raise their voices and become visible in society. The Right to Vote campaign aimed to provide the right to vote for people with refugee status in Scottish parliamentary and local government elections. The campaign was initiated by Scottish Refugee Council, then joined by Maryhill Integration Network, MIN Voices Group, and British Red Cross Voices Network. After working with politicians both locally and nationally, as well as the public, this year the Scottish Parliament passed the Scottish Elections, Franchise and Representation Act, extending the right to vote to include everyone with leave to remain in Scotland, meaning refugees will now be able to vote and take part in the democratic process.
Some truly amazing finalists in the cracking campaign category this year. And I know the judging panel had a hard time with this one as it covered such a range of areas and causes and each set such a high standard. Campaigns that last for years can feel like thankless tasks at times, and many campaigns don't succeed, but this category proves what can be achieved. However, ultimately there can only be one winner, And this year's cracking campaign winner is the Coalition for Equal Protection, Bernardo Scotland, Children's First and NSPCC Scotland.
Get the party poppers out. I'm joined now by Harriet Hall from the Coalition for Equal Protection. Congratulations, cracking campaign. And you're the very first Charities Award winner to be announced digitally. How does that feel?
It feels absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Sally. And I guess we are just so grateful and delighted to be here tonight, and want to begin just by saying thank you to yourself, to the SCVO, and for the award judges. It's just absolutely brilliant that we can all be together tonight. While it's virtually, I think at a time when charities are doing so much across the country together to help people cope through coronavirus, it is lovely to be able to get together to celebrate. And I think to celebrate and begin with an award that is a joint award for Children First and SPCC Scotland and Bernardo Scotland, which really shows the collective power of charities and to celebrate that. So it's fantastic to be able to gather together in these times, and thank you. We're very, very grateful and proud.
Well, thank you very much to you, Harriet. You've been breaking up a little bit there, but we've certainly got the gist of what you're saying. And I mean, a dramatic result. You got a law changed, which is it's historic.
It is. This is a momentous change in law, and it's something that really we've been campaigning for over 20 years. So it's been a long fought for, hard fought for campaign. And really the success of that campaign has been down to the strong support from children, families, civic society, professionals and individuals who really mobilised behind the campaign, shared their stories and helped to show Scotland, show the kind of country we wanted Scotland to be today and in the future for our children. Oh. And I think a real special mention has to go to John Finney, MSP, and his office manager, Stephen Den, for driving this through Parliament, to the Children and Young People's Commission of Scotland, the Scottish Youth Parliament and the Children's Parliament, who were all a big part in this campaign.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Harriet. Sorry to interrupt you there, but you're just beginning to sort of teeter off on the broadband there. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, and a very warm congratulations to you from us all. Congratulations also, of course, to all the cracking campaign finalists and to Richard from SGN for announcing the award. Up next is Charity Champion, and I'm going to hand over now to Andrew Burns, SCVO convener, to tell us about that one.
Well, thank you, Sally, and good evening, everyone, and I hope you're all enjoying tonight's ceremony wherever you happen to be. Up next is the Charity Champion Award. All 6 people on our shortlist have gone the extra mile for a cause that's very close to their hearts. And as individuals, they've all made a huge contribution. The panel found this category exceptionally challenging, as each finalist has come through really difficult circumstances to achieve what they have done. And all of their stories and their work is absolutely so inspiring. But don't just take our word for it. Let's hear more about them before revealing this year's winner.
Our first contender is Ewan MacDonald from Ewan's Guide. Ewan has worked selflessly to improve the lives of others since he was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, MND, in 2003. He has established 2 charitable organisations that have made an incomparable impact on countless lives. The Ewan MacDonald Centre for MND Research, a groundbreaking research centre which launched an innovative UK-wide clinical trial in 2020 aiming to find treatments to slow, stop or reverse the progression of MND, and Ewan's Guide, the Disabled Access Review charity. Over 40,000 disabled people, their families, friends and carers use ewansguide.com every month to find and share disabled access information. Next we have MND Scotland's Lawrence Cowan. Lawrence's best friend Gordon died of motor neuron disease, MND, when he was just 31. In 2016, Gordon won this award for his incredible contribution to the cause. Since his death, Lawrence has continued to fight in his memory, playing a leading role in building a movement to defeat MND. Among many achievements, he has personally helped raise over £700,000 for cutting-edge research, and through his inspirational leadership as MND Scotland's chairman, the charity invested £1.5 million into the UK's most innovative MND drug trial, its largest ever investment into research. Our third finalist is Bruce Wilson from Scottish Huntington's Association. Bruce was 15 years old when he first received support from the Scottish Huntington's Association, having just found out that his father had Huntington's disease. The support he has had over the last 6 years has driven him to become involved to help raise awareness, offer peer support, and fundraise for the SHA. He is delighted to be a finalist, as it gives him another chance to highlight the great work of Scottish Huntington's and to raise awareness of Huntington's disease. Next we have Elaine McHugh from Beatson Cancer Charity. Elaine and her family's fundraising achievements helped towards creating a new online experience to create a lasting and fitting legacy in memory of their daughter Ailey, who tragically died of a rare form of cancer at the age of 22. The McHughes story helped bring together people living in the shadow of cancer who could not be supported, and those who didn't know about the services available by the charity or cancer centre until it was too late. The charity now has a solution that proactively connects services with people at each stage of their journey. In turn, they help to create a new digital experience, a connected support platform feature called My Light, on Beatson Cancer Charity's new website. Our fifth finalist is Dennis Clifford from Macmillan. The team at Macmillan say they wouldn't have the services and quality of support if it wasn't for Dennis leading them and fighting to improve support for people living with cancer. He gives his time and energy so freely and without limitation, as he wants to be able to be flexible and adaptable wherever he can. The definition of a great volunteer, the team say he deserves to be acknowledged for his empathy and devotion to the people he supports. And finally, we have Michael McAllister from Scottish War Blinded. As a volunteer art tutor at Scottish War Blinded's Hawkhead Centre, Michael inspires veterans with sight loss to overcome the challenges of visual impairment, to embrace new skills and creative hobbies many thought no longer possible. Living with a visual impairment himself, his one-to-one tutoring and workshops have revolutionised the centre's creative activities. Michael was instrumental in orchestrating an exhibition of Hawkhead Centre's veterans' art at Glasgow's Kelvingrove Museum, displayed in February 2020, a huge personal achievement for the veterans involved and a culmination of all Michael is achieving at Hawkhead.
Well, I did warn you, some truly extraordinary individuals in this year's category, and I'd like to congratulate you all on the work you've done over the past year. Of course, there can only be one winner, and it's my absolute pleasure to announce that the winner of the Charity Champion Award this year is Elaine McHugh of Beatson Cancer Charity.
And I'm so delighted that Elaine can join us now. Welcome and congratulations, Elaine. This must mean so much to you because it's about Ailey.
Oh yeah, I've got nothing prepared.
You don't need anything prepared. Tell us about Ailey.
There are so many fabulous people in this category. I'm overwhelmed that the panel thought that our story was strong enough to be the award winners tonight. Team Ailey is a bunch of wonderful people, our family and our friends, and Beatson Cancer Charity partners. We all work tirelessly together, along with our older daughter, Kerry. We were lucky to have two precious daughters in our life, and we'll always have two precious daughters. And a big thanks to the SCVO for highlighting our story and allowing us the privilege of winning this award with Beatson Cancer Charity tonight. Thank you to everyone who has voted for us, either through People's Choice or through the panel. Ailey's name means light, and we will never tire of doing something inspirational to shine her light and make a difference in the world, as we know she would have done had she been given the opportunity of life beyond 22 years of age. And thank you so much. I'm humbled, I'm overwhelmed, I'm in Skye, and I'm certainly going to celebrate with family and friends tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, the whole of Skye will be celebrating with you tonight, Elaine. It's a wonderful achievement. This, I wonder what it's meant for you to be able to fundraise in this way, to bring something to others, you know, when you are dealing personally with such grief and trauma yourself.
Well, losing a child it's a grief beyond words. It's a tragedy in our lives that we had no control over, but we, as a family, decided very early on that we did have a choice as to how we were going to respond, and that we would do everything possible to do something positive in life in Ailey's name. She was clever, she was vibrant, and with our other daughter, Kerry, we have done that, but we couldn't do it without the help and the support and the love of everyone around us, and Beatson team themselves to give us the confidence to do what we do. And what we used was our experience of life after losing a child, of being in the hospital with your child, and we tried to do something positive to make a difference to other people so that they wouldn't have to go through the things that we went through, and that they would always have an opportunity for advice, for assistance, to know where to fundraise, and either for their family or carers or whoever was involved in the charity, and really to do something that would make Ailey proud. And I think, given all of this magic formula has come together, and in our darkest days, we always say to people, never underestimate the power of giving. Never underestimate the power of giving of your time, of your love and your talent, because in doing that, then you've brought us to this place tonight, along with family, friends, and the Beatson Cancer Charity. Thank you to SCVO. Thank you for allowing us to tell Ailey's story. We love her, and we will always be a family of four, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure she'll be very proud of you tonight, and I hope that Skye celebrates with you tonight, Elaine. Well done. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Before we move on, can I just mention that the judging panel would like to note a special commendation in this category to Ewan MacDonald and Ewan's Guide for his fantastic work over not only the past 12 months, but indeed the past few years. So please, in your sitting rooms, give him a big round of applause as well. Well done, Ewan. Up next is the Pioneering Project. To tell you all about it, let me hand over to Manish Joshi, SCVO board member and member of the judging panel.
Up next is the Pioneering Project Award. This award recognises creative project work, innovative ideas that are the lifeblood of Scotland's voluntary sector. Tonight's finalists all demonstrate making a significant impact from a project or partnership that makes a big difference to the community or cause. Let's hear more about the 6 finalists and the difference they have been making.
Our first contender is the Edinburgh Travel Bank, brought to you by Float Trust SCIO. The Float Trust Travel Bank distributes travel vouchers to those unable to afford essential travel to things like medical appointments, job interviews and school. Founded less than 2 years ago, the project operates on a budget of under £15,000 per year. It is also run almost entirely by volunteers, with a single part-time member of staff. Despite these apparent limitations, the Travel Bank supported 1,300 people in its first year and is on track to support 2,500 in its second. Next we have YWCA Scotland, the Young Women Movement's Young Women Lead. Young women are underrepresented, underemployed and so often unheard in Scottish politics and the Scottish Parliament. If Scottish Parliament reflected the population of Scotland, we would have 20 young women MSPs. Young Women Lead aims to provide a safe space for up to 100 young women to become active political citizens and promote women and equality in politics. The organisation has seen graduates run for student elections, pursue further education, create equality working groups at their place of employment, and progress their careers as a result of the skills they acquired on the programme. Our next finalist is Autism Friendly Rugby from Strathmore Community Rugby Trust. Autism Friendly Rugby is unique in Scotland. No other project utilises the values of rugby: respect, leadership, teamwork, discipline, integrity and inclusivity to support and develop children with autism. The project aims to increase the physical activity levels of participants, improve their social and emotional skills, reduce isolation for participants and their parents and carers, and increase the knowledge of coaches and volunteers on delivering rugby for all. The sessions have been hugely popular and receive high praise for delivering a truly autism-friendly activity which caters for the needs of the participants. Next up is Shannon's Box from STAFF, the Scottish Through Care and Aftercare Forum. Shannon's Box is a staff project delivered in collaboration with East Ayrshire Health and Social Care Partnership, benefiting over 50 young people. Shannon is a care-experienced young woman who lives with her son in Kilmarnock, who has used her own experience to develop the box. Shannon's Box is full of items to support children entering care, including a nightlight, colouring pens, a book, a teddy and a letter from Shannon. In the words of one young person who received it, Shannon's letter was the best bit the day I came into care. It helped that she had been in the same place and understood. Housing First for Youth West Lothian from Rock Trust is our next finalist. Rock Trust established Housing First for Youth with the aim of improving tenancy sustainment and well-being outcomes for care-experienced young people with high levels of support needs. Each person involved with the project has been supported into a permanent home and provided with the high-intensity, non-time-limited support they need to thrive within it. Independent evaluation has shown that all young people experienced positive change in their lives, particularly around maintaining their home, managing their relationships, and in their mental health and well-being. Last but not least, we have Cyrenian Scottish Centre for Conflict Resolution, SCCR's Digital Resource Hub. The SCCR aims to positively contribute to the lives of young people and their families by providing access to the knowledge and skills in addressing conflict to create healthy relationships and a flourishing society. The team achieved their aim of breaking geographical, class and age barriers by developing the Resource Hub to unite psychoeducational multimedia materials with professional knowledge and sharing in a digital space, creating interactive, engaging and accessible materials to everyone online at no cost. Their Digital Resource Hub is a life-changing, pioneering project that is transforming the way in which people identify their own emotions and communicate to improve their relationships and lives.
More amazing finalists in this category too. Again, highlighting the range of projects going on across the country to support everyone, from care-experienced young people and those with autism to people seeking housing or help with travel. Some truly great initiatives. Tonight, I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Pioneering Project Award for 2020 is the Strathmore Rugby Club Community Trust. Congratulations and well done.
And I'm joined now by Maggie Laurie from Strathmore Community Rugby Trust. Well done, Maggie. Autism-friendly rugby, it's such a brilliant idea. What kind of differences have you seen this making among children?
Oh, it's the differences are huge just in seeing what they've achieved as a result of the session, and the support it's given to not only the kids that take part in it themselves, the participants themselves, but their siblings who can also join in, and their parents and carers too. It's great seeing the difference that we're making.
And these are difficult times for children with autism. There's more need, I would imagine, now for initiatives like yours than ever before.
Yeah, for anyone with autism, routine is so important. So to be able to provide that set routine week in, week out, and give them the opportunity to get the whether it's sensory input or whatever else it is that they need is really important. We're very fortunate because we've been working with primary school children. We were one of the first groups to be able to get back throughout COVID. It was as soon as the social distancing requirements were lifted, and the parents and everyone have said it's made such a huge difference to the kids having that back. They see the happy little faces. They're just loving it.
And to win this award in a field like you've seen the videos there of the other initiatives that are being celebrated tonight in this category, that's quite something to win.
Oh, I know we were over the moon just to even be shortlisted, to be honest with you. And to win, we've been taken aback. There's so many other amazing inspirational projects out there that to be recognised in this way is just absolutely superb. We're delighted, and big thanks has to go to everybody that's involved with the project, behind the scenes and hands-on. The coaches and volunteers are so key to the relationship with the kids and how we get on and stuff. It's big thank you to everyone involved and the support that we've had from the community.
Well, all power to your elbow, Maggie, and to the Strathmore Community Rugby Trust. Thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations again.
Thanks.
And congratulations to the other finalists in the Pioneering Project category. They're all terrific. Every one of them, so important. Up next is a leading light, and to introduce this category I'm going to hand over to Becky Duff, SCVO board member and another member of the judging panel, to tell us more.
Thank you, Sally, and hello to all our fantastic finalists and attendees this evening. It's so lovely to see you all. Now it's time for the Leading Light Award. This award recognises an employee who has worked tirelessly to make a significant difference to one or more organisations or causes. Scottish charities, social enterprises and voluntary organisations are full of inspiring individuals and leaders who help transform our society day in, day out. Our 6 finalists tonight are exceptional and influential people who demonstrate outstanding dedication to their organisations. Let's hear more about them before I reveal the winner.
Our first finalist is Erin Murdoch from Girvan Youth Trust. After working in the community for 26 years, Erin has always made sure that young people are at the forefront of her work, and is always first to offer any assistance, guidance or support to young people, adult volunteers and staff. She prides herself on being the person she needed as a teenager, and will regularly go above and beyond for the young people. Not for the praise or the thanks, but simply because it's her passion. Erin brings out the best in people she works with, and her positivity radiates and creates a comfortable environment for everyone to be in. Up next, Food Train's Michelle Carruthers MBE. Food Train delivers food and other welfare services to older people with local support from generous and warm-hearted volunteers. Chief Executive Michelle Carruthers MBE is an inspirational leader, tirelessly advocating for older people's rights in Scotland to food access, food security, and to raise government and public awareness of the prevalence of undernourished older adults. Michelle's leadership saw vital food deliveries increase by 61% this year, and the launch of the new Scotland-wide Food Train Connects one-to-one shopping service. Now we have Declan Harrigan of Smile Counselling. Declan has dedicated over 10 years to counselling and supporting children and young people. He believes no child should be left behind, and all children deserve to realise their potential for a happy and fulfilling life. He founded Smile Counselling so that local children had access to free, flexible support and have their voices and stories heard. Today, Smile works in schools, youth and community groups, and young offenders. Declan also specialises in suicide counselling and has literally saved young lives with his passion and drive to support the next generation. Up next, Scottish Partnership for Palliative Care, SPPC's Rebecca Patterson. Rebecca works to improve people's experience of death, dying and bereavement. In pursuit of this end, anything goes, working with clinicians on formal policy, producing materials for the public, giving spoken word performances on Lost, co-hosting a dinner for MSPs, and running focus groups to understand ordinary people's experiences of caring and loss. Most recently, Rebecca has led development of a course for the public end-of-life aid skills for everyone, EASE, which will give people the skills, knowledge and confidence they need to face these situations. Now we have David Ward of the Learning Space. As a head teacher, it was clear to David that some children were unable to cope with mainstream education, and he saw the impact on the mental and physical health of the child and their families. As David's son has a diagnosis of ASD and ADHD, he felt his own experience of education and supporting his son could help everyone. He created the Learning Space to put all his experience and empathy into helping and supporting young people who find school and sometimes life a challenge. The Learning Space now supports young people to learn, grow in confidence and overcome anxieties, enabling them to reach their potential. And finally, we have Bridie Ashrowan from the Broomhouse Centre. The application was submitted to acknowledge the leadership and drive of Bridie following a number of years of striving to provide a hub facility suitable for the needs and aspirations of the local community. As she puts it, Space and Broomhouse Hub are an overnight success that was 30 years in the making. With the fundraising for the new centre, Bridie led by example, doing the hard miles and raising money personally.
This was a really difficult category for the judging panel, with one of our judges saying they were in awe of all our inspiring finalists and noting that the category highlighted the importance of storytelling for the sector. But, as you know, one person has to win. I am delighted to announce that this year's Leading Light Award goes to Bridie Ashrowan from the Broomhouse Centre, Trading a Space. Congratulations.
And here she is now, Bridie. Well done, congratulations. An overnight success that was 30 years in the making. Wow, did you ever think you would get to the point when you were being celebrated as a leading light of the voluntary sector?
But certainly not. And one of those leading lights were the couple of them, the women who came together 30 years ago to say, what can we do for our children in this community? They should be here tonight. Or the dream I had last week, which was about the cleaners and the caretakers, and the cooks. We were sharing a taxi to Holyrood, and they were the winners. You know, that it's all of that team that have coped through COVID. They're my guiding light. So I feel really humbled, and I'm here to represent them. I wouldn't be here without them.
Fundraising, Bridie, is hard work at the best of times. Probably harder now than it has been for a while. What would you say to anybody else who's finding it tough and finding the overnight success hard to come by?
I would say, don't give up, because you know, as a fundraiser, you maybe fall over because something comes in that's bad news. Is dust yourself up, pick yourself up, and keep going. But always build a crew around you. I have to take my hat off to the team, the person who gave their time voluntarily, but from the property sector, the trustee, each of these people who've helped us get to where we were last year when we built our new hub. It was bringing a team around that. Don't be on your own. Bring a team around you.
So there's going to be celebrations tonight, are there?
Oh, superb back at the team. Yeah. They're incredible. It's an amazing team. And during this time, during the pandemic, they've kept the doors open, and many, many people have been able to get food through their doors or a phone call for well-being, thousands each week. It's an incredible team. That's who I'm here on behalf of tonight.
Well, it's so important, the work you've done. Thank you, and thank you to all your team from us. Thanks for joining us tonight, and congratulations. And our thanks indeed to all the Leading Light finalists. As we heard there, they are awe-inspiring. And can I tell you that the judging panel would like, in fact, to note a special commendation in that category to Rebecca Patterson from the Scottish Partnership for Palliative Care. And they mention in particular her tenacity and her compassion in the role. So congratulations, Rebecca. Up next, in our next category, is the Celebrating Communities. And we're going to hear about it from Alan Sherry from CLD Standards Council Scotland.
Now for the Celebrating Communities Award, sponsored by the Community Learning and Development Standards Council for Scotland. Across the country, small voluntary groups and grassroots organisations are going to extraordinary lengths to work with individuals, communities and organisations, and having a considerable impact on people's lives. You have done this with huge enthusiasm and commitment, and you have made a significant impact and difference to the communities with which you work.
First up is Headway East Lothian SCIO. Headway East Lothian SCIO supports a community of brain injury survivors and their families and carers by providing safe access to peer group activity sessions, developing community links with other groups and organisations where people can come together to socialise, learn and upskill. The only charity providing such support in the local area, it has done so for over 15 years, growing in numbers, working with volunteers and supporters, improving the health and well-being of members. Next up we have once again the Broomhouse Centre. Space, which manages the Broomhouse Hub, the former Broomhouse Centre, is a community anchor organisation, extending its services out into southwest Edinburgh. Having opened the new £3.2 million hub in late 2019, it was already a hive of activity and played a pivotal role on resilience, becoming the lead on emergency food provision. Broomhouse Community Growers Association has been established to run Broomhouse Home Farm, with the support of Edible Estates. The aim was to create the opportunity to grow high-quality local food on a site run by local residents, bringing in young and old to community growing activities. Milan Senior Welfare Organisation is our next finalist. Milan is at the forefront of delivering valuable and essential services to the most vulnerable and at-risk individuals. A small organisation working immensely hard to make positive differences in people's lives, showing that with sheer dedication, transparency and an empowered workforce, anything is possible. The team listens to communities by providing opportunities of interaction and promoting social cohesion by organising events and trips to ensure people have something to look forward to, keeping their spirits high. Our next finalist is Perth Autism Support. Perth Autism Support is a dynamic, forward-thinking charity which has developed rapidly since 2011 and now has 850 families registered for services. Young people are at the heart of everything it does, and service expansion has been based on listening to children and families to ensure services are what they want at a time that is right for them. With 5 areas of service: children's activities, young adult transition service, school liaison service, family support service and training, it remains a unique service offering a breadth of support, advice and information for families. Our fifth finalist is Supporting Our Community. Supporting Our Community aims to make a positive difference. Initially, the plan was to set up a community hub helping families who struggled to access support. But after tragedy struck at the heart of the community, when Darianne, the 16-year-old daughter of a volunteer, took her own life in December 2018, the aims of the hub were updated. Since opening in June 2019, 40 people have attended both suicide talk and awareness courses, providing support to a devastated community. The hub offers simple solutions to reducing isolation and loneliness whilst increasing the skills of the community. And 16 volunteers have now completed SMHFA, becoming qualified mental health first aiders. Finally, we have Flavour and Haver Community Cook School Social Enterprise, which supports people through access to food in a dignified way, improving health and well-being, and helping people develop skills and confidence around cooking. This community cook school is home to a thriving community of novice and professional cooks, which are free to access. People learn to prepare dishes and enjoy a nutritious meal with good company. Over 5,800 meals were cooked and shared over the last year, true to the team's mission: something to eat, someone to eat with.
There have been some truly fantastic finalists this evening, each identifying real need in their own communities and providing bespoke solutions and support. Well done to everyone involved. However, there can only be one winner, and it's my pleasure to announce that the winner for 2020 of the Celebrating Communities category is Supporting Our Community. My congratulations to you all.
And I'm joined now by Mark from Supporting Our Community. You look a bit stunned, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of lost for words. I wasn't, just to get nominated was absolutely massive.
What's this going to mean to your community?
Help us grow and hopefully provide lots more support to people in a local community that we're in a very, how do I describe it? It's kind of one of the poorer areas in Scotland. So the support we can offer is going to be massive now.
And that's a very moving story behind the way that your community hub developed. It must be good to see something strong and positive coming out of such a tragic loss as Darianne's was.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, Darian was my daughter, and we had to do something. We couldn't sit back, and there was a need for something to change, and we've managed to make a positive change in our local community.
And has this been something, as we heard earlier tonight about another loss of a child and a parent throwing her energies into making something good out of that loss? Has that been the sense that you've had also?
Yeah, that's certainly been a drive for me, but also the volunteers and the other people in the local community. We all share the same vision, we all share the same passion, and we're all driving it forward together. We've got great volunteers that work with us as well. So it's the whole community that are driving us forward.
And in times like this, mental health support more important than ever?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we hope once, as things start to ease a little bit, we're going to try and get as many volunteers and as many people in the community. If we can get people with the skills to go out and have a little bit of knowledge in the community, they may be able to help more and more people.
Well, it's such a great initiative, and it's wonderful to hear how well you're doing with it, Mark. And thank you very much for joining us. Are you going to go and raise a glass to yourselves?
Well, I certainly think we will be, yes.
Well, I hope you do. Do send us a photograph, won't you, on Twitter? Show us what you're all up to. It's great to meet you tonight, and thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
And well done to all the other finalists in the Celebrating Communities category. Such a lot of brilliant initiatives there. Before we move on to our next award, I'm just going to suggest that we take a quick break to grab a snack, refill a drink, or tweet a picture of your award celebrations to @SCVO using the hashtag Scott Charity Awards. Don't dally. If you're going to go to the loo, you'll have to make it quick. You've got 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes, and then we start up again. See you then. Bye-bye.
Congratulations to all this year's award winners and finalists.
Hello, Tom Allen here. Just to say congratulations to all the finalists in the Scottish Charity Awards 2020. Even though we can't all be together tonight, I hope you're still having a wonderful evening celebrating all the brilliant work that you do.
Hello, I'm Andrew Cotter and these are my much more famous dogs, Olive and Mabel, and just to wish you all at the Scottish Charity Awards a great night wherever you are and keep doing the very valuable work that you do. Have a great time.
Many congratulations to all the award winners and finalists.
Hi everyone, I know this has been an extraordinary year and not in a good way, but I know the one thing that won't have changed is the incredible dedication and effort that you put into the organisations that you work for. If anything, you'll have been working even harder this year. So I do hope you get the chance to sort of take a breath and give yourself some credit for all that you've done. And I hope that we get the chance to get together in more normal circumstances next year to celebrate your achievements.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Sanjeev Kohli here. Just wanting to wish you all a great night at the Scottish Charity Awards. I know it's a bit different this year, it's all online, but you know, in a way that's good. You don't have to do your hair and you can just sit in your Scooby-Doo onesie and get your award. I'm actually wearing an entire Frogman's outfit underneath my jacket. But listen, don't let it take away from the awards and from how much you deserve those awards. So just a big congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners, and have a great night. Take care.
Congratulations to all the award winners and finalists tonight.
Hi folks, I'm Simon from Biffy Clyro, and I just want to congratulate all the finalists at this year's Scottish Charity Awards. You won't forget this ceremony in a hurry, but thanks for all you do. Take care.
Congratulations to all our winners and our finalists at this year's Scottish Charity Awards.
Oh, there's nothing nicer than a sweet charity. Hello, it's Craig Hill here, and I just wanted to send a massive congratulations to all the finalists for tonight's award ceremony. Well done, the Scottish Charity Awards. Anyway, have a fantastic night, and I want to wish you all the best of luck. And remember, when you have an online awards ceremony, the bar is always open. So, bottoms up, and have a great night. Cheers, bye.
Hi there, it's Lorraine here. I just wanted to say a huge congratulations to everybody who's been nominated for the Scottish Charity Awards, and a massive thank you for all that you do. Have a great time.
Inspirational, dedicated and resilient. These are just three of the many words I could use to describe you, our 2020 Scottish Charity Awards finalists. Thank you for all of your incredible work, which makes such a positive difference to people's lives, families and communities across the country and beyond. From all of us at Keegan and Pennykid, a huge congratulations to you all in reaching the finals, and the very best of luck. I hope you enjoy your evening.
Hiya, Martin Compson here. Just want to say a massive congratulations to all the finalists. Thoroughly deserved, and hope you all have a cracking night. All best.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're raring to go for the second half of the Scottish Charity Awards 2020. Lots of awards still to come. If your category is one of them, calm those nerves. It won't be long now. Up next, we have the terrific trustee category. As a trustee myself, I always take particular pleasure in seeing what great practice is out there on very hard-working boards. Let me hand over to Lindsay Montgomery, Chair of the Scottish Charity Regulator, Oscar, to tell us about the winner of these.
Hello to all of our Scottish Charity Awards guests and finalists. It's great to be here celebrating with you all this evening. There are thousands of inspiring individuals who make a huge contribution to transforming our society by sitting on charity boards. This award recognises a charity trustee who has worked tirelessly to make a significant difference to one or more organisations or causes. 6 trustees from a wide range of organisations across Scotland have been shortlisted in this category. They are:
our first finalist is Brian Robertson from Fife Employment Access Trust. Brian is professional in everything he does and not afraid to roll his sleeves up and get stuck into every area of a project, from litter picking and installing CCTV to chairing the board meetings. He's also leading on securing £7 million in National Lottery Heritage funding to renovate the old flax mill at Silverburn Park into a centre for well-being in Fife. He has outstanding skills in strategic planning and management, showing deep commitment and loyalty to the organisation. Up next is Ash Mohammed, a trustee with Move On Scotland. Ash is an exceptionally enthusiastic and dedicated trustee, going above and beyond in his commitment to Move On. Motivated by a strong personal sense of social justice, Ash plays an active role within the charity, contributing expertise, sharing his network and contacts, volunteering and mentoring, while encouraging other people to do the same. From sharpening the strategic focus of the board, improving board effectiveness, and driving the development and growth of 2 social enterprises, to volunteering and creating innovative new funding streams, Ash is committed to maximising Move On's capacity to support vulnerable people to fulfil their potential. Graham Skoogs from Creative Creef is our next contender. Skoogs grew up in the area, playing in care homes to his own great-grandparents from the age of 5, and he's just never stopped. As Creative Creef's youngest trustee and creative director, he is the driving force behind the organisation's outreach programmes, inspiring young people of all abilities and bringing everyone together throughout the area. Our 4th finalist is Nicole Bell from Support in Mind Scotland. Nicole, who has lived experience as a carer for a family member affected by mental illness, provides a dynamic young voice on Support in Mind Scotland's board and always offers fresh insight, input and ideas. Nicole is highly respected for being dutiful, diligent, dedicated and thoroughly supportive of her fellow trustees, the staff team and the people SIMS supports. She has thrown herself into a number of key projects, including a new children's booklet about schizophrenia, a marathon fundraising challenge on a fold-up bike, and helping to shape the charity's new 5-year strategy. Next up is Nigel Over from the Smith-Magenis Syndrome Foundation UK. Without Nigel, the Smith-Magenis Syndrome Foundation UK would no longer exist. Prior to Nigel joining the board, the team faced a real prospect of winding up the charity. Nigel brought vision and practical solutions to resolve the challenges that existed. Since then, he has been at the heart of the organisation, connecting families, raising awareness and building futures for everyone affected by the syndrome. Nigel leads strategic development to ensure a well-supported, sustainable charity, ensuring long-term benefits for the community. Finally, we have Alan Jacks of Music in Hospitals and Care. Music in Hospitals and Care nominated Alan Jacks for his outstanding achievements as one of the organisation's longest-serving volunteers, who has supported work in Scotland for over 30 years. He has improved outcomes using his expertise of dementia, his work with the Equality Network and LGBT health and well-being, his own experience of profound hearing loss from Meniere's disease, and of course his love of music. He is a very active trustee who last year organised his first ever solo piano fundraising concert where he performed works by Mozart, Beethoven, Debussy and Chopin.
Trustees may be responsible for the serious stuff: governance, complying with legislation and strategic oversight of their organisations. But as we have seen from our finalists tonight, many do so much more for their charity and what is achieved for their cause and its beneficiaries. I'm delighted to be here tonight to announce the winner of the 2020 Terrific Trustee Award. The winner is Nigel Over of the Smith-Magenis Foundation. Many congratulations, Nigel. Well done.
I'm delighted to say Nigel's able to join us now. Congratulations on being a terrific trustee, Nigel.
Thank you, Sally.
Tell us about Smith-Magenis syndrome and why it was so important to you to lend your time and energy to enabling the foundation to survive.
Smith-Magenis syndrome is a rare genetic disorder. We have only about 500 people across the whole of the UK. It's really challenging. We see communication difficulties, challenging behaviours, and probably the most challenging part of the syndrome is actually an inverted sleep pattern. So all of those individuals tend to want to be awake at night and sleep sometime during the day. Now, it's personal to me because I have a 22-year-old son, Matthew, with the syndrome, and he's my heart and soul and my real motivator to see everybody with the syndrome having the opportunity to live a fulfilling life in a really supportive and understanding community.
And what was it you were able to do, Nigel, when you joined the foundation in order to get it going again?
I stepped in at a time when the board had been rejuvenated. I have to thank Hazel for twisting my arm to come on board back in 2012.
There's always an arm twister, isn't there?
There is. But at that time, the charity had been starting to fall and struggle a little bit. We needed to rejuvenate it and take a total fresh look at what we were doing. And since then, we've grown to be one of the highest respected genetic syndrome organisations, not only in the UK, but recognised across the world now.
And just very, very briefly, what would you say are the main rewards of being a trustee? There's a lot asked of trustees in terms of time and energy and dedication and so on. What do you get back?
Personally, it's that warm feeling when you see even the smallest change making a huge difference on somebody's life. The other things that can be quite indescribable is the fellowship and the bond that you get with the other trustees and how you come together, just support yourself, bring your skills, learn new skills, and just work together with that common passion and desire around your cause. And there's no sense that you get anywhere else than within the charity sector that actually delivers that.
Well, very well put. Thank you very much indeed, Nigel, and congratulations again. Terrific trustee winner. And our thanks again to all the other finalists in that category also who give so much of themselves to enable our charities to do all the wonderful work that they do. Up next is Demonstrating Digital, and I'm pleased to welcome Colin Cook from Digital Scotland to tell us more.
Thank you, Sally, and thanks to SCBO for hosting what's been a brilliant night so far. Now it's time for the Demonstrating Digital Award, sponsored by Digital Scotland, that brings together public, private and third sector organisations that want to see our country become a successful digital nation. New technology has changed the way we live our lives, and tonight's 4 finalists have adapted and evolved to maximise these opportunities. They've gone beyond the simple creation of a website to redesigning their services and redefining the expectations of people of those services through the use of technology. So, before I reveal this year's winner, let's hear about this year's finalists.
First up is Simon Community Scotland. In the last 5 years, the team has seen year-on-year increases in deaths in their services from drug overdoses and wanted to do something to prevent this. Working with service users, many of whom had lost someone through drug overdose, and partner Cares app, the team developed a sensor system using radar and mattress sensors to monitor vital signs so that the team members knew when to intervene, and no one has died since the project began. The technology has the capacity to save lives, but the process of implementation has also changed lives. Next, we have Community Transport Glasgow, CTG. CTG's transport hub, through an innovative web-based scheduling solution, is supporting NHS Lanarkshire's non-emergency patient and non-patient transport, with 10,000 journeys already booked, making efficiencies for the NHS, reducing journeys, and improving the transport experience for patients. Alchemy Film and Arts is our next finalist. Filmtown works with local partners to address the economic deprivation and rural isolation in Hawick and the Scottish borders to facilitate an investment in the town and region's cultural identity, and to improve access to culture. Through an emphasis on digital skills development and working towards tailored learning outcomes, Filmtown has so far worked with more than 150 participants, including young people and adults with learning disabilities and additional support needs, and has attracted digital audiences of more than 3,300 people across the globe. Individual films have been shown at Scottish Parliament, Borders Art Fair and in Hawick. Finally, we have Cyrenian Scottish Centre for Conflict Resolution, SCCR. The SCCR recognise that digital communication is a powerful tool in keeping young people and families informed and engaged whilst meaningfully connecting with users to put their needs at the heart of resources. Their multimedia hub is now being used in 94 countries, making their resources universally accessible for everyone. By harnessing the power of digital, these revolutionary resources are shaping a new narrative in the understanding of neuroscience in relation to families.
Some fantastic examples of what we can achieve if we balance the opportunities that digital provides with a really strong focus on understanding and meeting the needs of our service users. Well done to everyone who was nominated tonight. Now, I'm pleased to announce that this year's winner of the Demonstrating Digital Award is Simon Community Scotland. Congratulations.
And I'm joined by Hugh Hill from the charity and somebody else whose name I wasn't given. Who have you got with you, Hugh?
This is joining me tonight is Lorraine McGrath. Lorraine's our Chief Executive of Simon Community Scotland. So we took the opportunity to use our new hub tonight and appropriately socially distance and support each other. So
great stuff. Well, you're both very welcome indeed. Using radar and mattress sensors to monitor vital signs, it's such a clever innovation, and you've had real success with it, which must be very rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, we've faced some real tragedies in our services across Scotland. The number of drug deaths is absolutely appalling, and it is trying to do as much as you can to actually just even saving one life makes such a difference. So we're really trying to be creative and trying to use whatever is at our disposal, what we can create to actually just keep people safe.
And can I just ask you both, it's never just about the technology, is it? The best digital interventions tend to be about tools to aid human intervention, human compassion.
You're absolutely right. We've got an incredible group of compassionate and caring staff, and this is an addition. This is a safety measure. This doesn't replace the staff. It doesn't replace what they do. It doesn't replace the interventions that they already have in place. But it's just that added bit of support for people that are out of sight sometimes within their rooms, and it's just that safety net. But our staff have been absolutely incredible over the last 5 years in intervening and supporting people in our services.
And pleased to win the award by any chance?
A bit stunned. I mean, I think tonight both Lorraine and I have been absolutely blown away by the range and the amount of absolutely amazing people and organisations, and to be part of that, we were feeling a bit like proud actually, because there's just so much amazing people and organisations out there. So yes, I'm certainly stunned. So, but it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. For our staff, particularly in Lanarkshire, who've been working this project. Our teams in Blackstreet and Mason Street, I'm hoping to catch up with them very soon, but that's fantastic news for them.
Well, Lorraine and Hugh, thank you both for joining us and congratulations. And I should tell you that the judging panel would like to note a special commendation in this category to Community Transport Glasgow for the support they've provided to thousands of people in need So well done to everyone at Community Transport Glasgow. Up next, we have the People's Choice category. And this is an award based, as the name suggests, on votes from the public. And I'm going to hand over to Stuart Niven from Charities Aid Foundation to tell us how the vote went and which organisation has emerged the winner.
It's almost time to reveal this year's Charity of the Year. But before we do that, it's time to announce which finalist has attracted the most public votes. The People's Choice Award, sponsored by Charities Aid Foundation, is the only award not chosen by the judges. It enables you, the supporters of the charity sector, and the general public, the chance to choose your favourite. It's been another great year for voting, with a staggering 27,119 votes cast over a 3-week period. Quite a feat considering the current restrictions and all the voting done online. This year, we received votes from some 91 different countries across the world, from as far away as Thailand and Trinidad and Tobago, Japan and Sri Lanka, to name just a few. So thank you from everyone at CAF and SCVO to all of you who took the time to vote and choose your favourite finalist. Your support for the charity sector is truly amazing. Congratulations to all this year's finalists and winners. It now gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the People's Choice Award 2020 is My Name's Doddy Foundation. Congratulations.
Well, there you are. A very popular win, I'm sure, for the charity in the name of the wonderful Doddy Weir, dedicated to raising funds for research into motor neuron disease, the condition, of course, that affects Doddy himself and far too many others. And I'm joined, I can see you there, Jill Douglas there from the charity. Massive congratulations. You amassed thousands of votes, Jill. I don't know if you, if you've sort of been able to compute yet. I mean, it's fantastic news.
It's wonderful. And, it demonstrates the reach of Doddy and the foundation. And I'm blown away, actually. I'm quite emotional, really, because it's such a special thing that so many people wanted to support us in this way. And that's reflective of the way we've been supported since we launched, and the love and the affection people have had for Doddy, but also the awareness of what we're trying to do in trying to find a cure for motor neuron disease. So thank you to everybody that took the time to vote. We are blown away by it. Thank you so much.
Will Doddy be watching tonight, Jill? Will he be raising a glass?
I think all of you know Doddy will be raising a glass. And yes, of course. And he and all of our trustees, but I think also the wider community who have supported us will embrace this and recognise it's a really important thing for us to receive this and to show the support that we've been able to gain over the last 3 years. So we really appreciate it. But yes, Doddy will love this. I think the People's Award is absolutely right. And thank you so much.
And what would you say to people who've taken the trouble to vote for you tonight?
The same as I would say to all the thousands of people who've supported us since we started, which is you've come on this journey with us. Doddy was frustrated by the lack of hope, the lack of answers when he was given his terrible diagnosis. And as a group of trustees and supporters and all the people that have joined together in the last few years to really make My Name's Doddy Foundation what it is today, it's a massive thank you. We've raised awareness, we've raised significant funds, we've invested in research, we're trying to help patients, and we're trying to challenge the medical community to make progress in the fight against MND. Like so many others in the same space, many of them nominated tonight as well. We're all in this together. And this is just a wonderful recognition of that. But thank you to everybody who's joined us in this journey.
Well, thank you to you as well, Jill, for all the work that you do. And thanks to you, Doddy. If you're watching, congratulations. Do send us a picture, tweet it out so we can all see you celebrating. But thank you very much indeed, and well done. We come now, ta-ra, to our final and very prestigious award, Charity of the Year. So I'm going to hand over for this to June Pennykid from Keegan and Pennykid to do the honours.
Hello everyone, we hope you're all having a fantastic night and congratulations to all of tonight's winners and finalists. The work you do is remarkable. Now for our final award of the evening, the Scottish Charity of the Year 2020, sponsored by Keegan and Pennykid. This award recognises charities and voluntary sector organisations that have had a record-breaking year over the last 12 months. Organisations who have stepped up a gear, reached significant goals, celebrated outstanding achievements and taken an innovative approach. Let's take a look at this year's finalists.
First up, we hear again from Simon Community Scotland. Keeping people safe and saving lives has always been this organisation's aim. Despite challenges, including a restructure and closure of services, the team has managed to almost eradicate rough sleeping in Glasgow and Edinburgh. Thanks to staff, partners and volunteers, this organisation has helped 2,500 people take positive action towards safety, stability and recovery, often for the first time in years. Volunteer applications have increased by 300%, and employee applications are 150% higher. Staff retention has improved, with a third of the workforce having lived experience of homelessness. Voluntary income has also increased by 300%, despite having no fundraising posts. Our next finalist is Scottish Centre for Personal Safety. Many vulnerable people are afraid to go out by themselves, especially at night, because they have been attacked, harassed, bullied or stalked, or they are afraid that this will happen to them. This fear often leads to social isolation, depression, and sometimes suicide. The Scottish Centre for Personal Safety's free training helps participants confront their fears, which in turn lowers their anxiety levels and increases their self-confidence and self-esteem. It helps female survivors of violence, children and youths, LGBTI and ethnic minority groups, people with dwarfism and sensory impaired people, over 6,500 people in all, with only 10 volunteers. My Name's Doddy Foundation is our next finalist. The foundation is looking forward to celebrating its third anniversary and continues to grow. It has now committed more than £4 million to research projects to help find meaningful treatments and a cure for motor neuron disease, and to offer practical support to those affected by this terrible disease. The foundation has launched a series of Dodcasts, bringing together guests from the sporting and medical worlds to raise awareness of MND and share experiences of living with MND, and has been the catalyst for bringing eminent professionals together, from neuroscientists to medical researchers, and established its scientific advisory board. Up next is HIV Scotland. The past 18 months has been a time of rapid and necessary change for HIV Scotland. The team held their first Positive Change Gala dinner to raise vital funds, changed aviation law to finally allow people living with HIV to gain their pilot's licence, engineered various campaigns, including one calling for drug reform across Scotland, and launched HIV Self-Test Scotland, alongside Waverley Care, offering free tests to everyone in Scotland. The Green Team is our next finalists. They have had a fabulous year in 2019, battling back from financial difficulties in 2018 to emerge stronger. Through a passionate board, committed staff team, supportive volunteers, and with the affirmation of young people, huge changes were made, improving governance structure and strategy, a new website, brand and charitable objects, and the sourcing and diversification of much needed income. Through this year of change, young people remained at the heart of everything the team does. Over 1,100 young people enjoyed opportunities to use nature for fun, education, skills and social development, respite, and to support action for the environment. Finally, we have the Moira Anderson Foundation. This unique grassroots charity was way ahead of the curve in highlighting the dangers of child sexual abuse and the harm it causes. For 2 decades, it has pushed for change regarding far better treatment of child witnesses and other vulnerable people in Scotland's courts. A huge challenge this year was a 38% referrals increase, but the team raised a gear to help its diverse range of clients by doubling its base, and thanks to a successful 2020 anniversary campaign, raising £50,000, it is now within touching distance of its goal to expand Moira's remarkable legacy.
As always, the judges found this category particularly difficult, not just because of the range of work and areas each organisation covers, but because each has overcome huge challenges to achieve many successes in the past 12 months. Every year, we are blown away by the finalists we see in this category, and I want to congratulate you all on what must have been a hectic and challenging year. You all deserve to be here tonight. But there can only be one winner, and it is my pleasure to announce that the winner of the Charity of the Year Awards for 2020 is Simon Community Scotland. Congratulations.
Massive congratulations to Simon Community Scotland. And here's Lorraine McGrath making a second appearance to join us. There's Hugh. Get into the picture, Hugh. Further forward so we can see you. There you are. Scottish Charity of the Year 2020. How does that feel?
Wow, it feels wow. Absolutely amazing, and such incredible company. It just feels... We were already stunned with the digital award to get this as well.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's absolutely fantastic news. And why is the work that you do so important?
Experiencing homelessness is one of the most damaging, demoralising, hopeless things that can happen to anybody, and particularly the people that we support. Predominantly are those that experience the most extreme forms of homelessness, and along with that experience lots and lots of other challenges around their health, their mental well-being, social exclusion, financial exclusion, addiction, historical abuse and trauma from their childhood, and lifelong issues that create such challenges for them in finding their way back out of homelessness. And we like to think that we bring a unique response to that, along with our partners across the local authority areas that we work, to respond with compassion and care and hope.
And you've had very meaningful success this year.
Oh, we have. Our teams are just amazing, and so are the people we support. The people we support are amazing too, and it is just incredible what people can and do to overcome the challenges with the right care and support and the right people responding with the hope and ambition for everybody. And that's what this award does. Is we know our teams are amazing. We know that we tell them all the time. But this is a very public demonstration from the country to say that our staff are our charity, and they make it the Charity of the Year without a doubt.
And indeed, I was going to ask you what an award like this means to a charity like you in the days and the months ahead. It's something quite, it's a substantial way of showing the world that what you do matters and the way you do it matters.
Absolutely, and absolutely, it is very much about the way that we do it, and the way that we do it is through people, and the people are our staff, our volunteers, and all of our supporters. We're sitting in our brand new hub in Glasgow that has taken a huge amount of support, public and individual organisational support to make it happen. It's psychologically informed. It will be filled with compassionate and caring staff and partner agencies to respond to people who will be facing the worst circumstances of their life. And they all do that every day of the year, 365 days a year. And that's having an award of this nature that demonstrates just how important that is to Scotland, and how important it is how they do what they do is to Scotland, and the people we support is massive for us. And it would be massive in any year, but to be getting it right now after the last 5 months of unbelievable response from the teams and partner agencies, to the point where across the two cities we are in a completely different position in homelessness than we've ever been before in decades, is even more enormous for us. And thanks to everybody.
And thank you to you for the work you do. Some suitably socially distanced celebrations to follow, I trust.
Yes, absolutely. And congratulations to everybody that's been part of this tonight, and to SCVO for pulling this off. This has been fantastic, and a wonderful thing to be part of.
Well, I hope
and to be walking away with 2 awards is just beyond our dreams. So thank you very much.
I hope you'll send us some photographs on Twitter, because I'm delighted to be able to tell you and everybody else that we're actually trending on Twitter right across the UK, and we're #1 in Glasgow and in Edinburgh on Twitter. So there you are. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. And I'm sure there'll be some more from Simon Community shortly. But thank you very much to Lorraine and to Hugh there. Well done. Congratulations, Scottish Charity of the Year 2020.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
That, unfortunately, brings our celebrations to a close almost. I hope you've enjoyed it. I do hope so. I've had a ball. Even all on my own here, I've had a ball. It's been so lovely to meet all these terrific award winners. And I almost forgot to tell you, there was a commendation also in that category, and it's the Moira Anderson Foundation. I am so sorry to have forgotten that, because they got a special commendation in the Charity of the Year for the work that they've done in supporting some of society's most vulnerable people. A huge thank you to everyone there, and I ask you to give them a cheer at home as well. I got so carried away by being so successful on Twitter, it's just completely gone to my head. So big apologies for that. But congratulations to them and to all the finalists in the Charity of the Year category, any one of whom would have made a really worthy winner. And my thanks also to June from Keegan and Penny Kidd for announcing that award. That does bring our award ceremony to a close now. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that you've had a really not just a fun evening, but I think the kind of evening where you feel that you have accessed important things in life at a time when so very much in life feels as if it's going wrong. There are things that are going right, and you've witnessed them here tonight. Before I sign off, can I just emphasise also what it is, an achievement it is just to be a finalist at all in these awards, so that when I say congratulations to everyone in the shortlist, I really do mean it. And for those who received an award tonight or a special commendation, you can be very proud of yourselves, because this was a quite amazing field of charity excellence. Finally, can I ask Anna Fowley to step back into the limelight now and to bid you all a formal good night on behalf of us both and all the team here at the EICC in Edinburgh.
Thank you, Sally. I agree with you. It's been an amazing night, and I've really enjoyed it. It would have been nicer to be there in the studio in the EICC, but it was fantastic anyway. And I'm so proud of everyone that has been here in the finalists, but also just of the sector as a whole. The sector's done amazing stuff over the last few years, but certainly over the last few months, and it just makes me delighted. I'd especially like to say thank you to you, Sally, of course, because you have been as amazing as ever and looking really glamorous there, a bit jealous, I have to say, but you've been fantastic. And to all the other presenters who had the luxury of a pre-record, thank you very much to all of them. I'd really like to say thank you to the staff at the EICC, because you have been amazing, absolutely amazing, making us feel relaxed and making it all work so seamlessly. Thank you very much to all our sponsors, to all our judges, and my colleagues at SCVO who've made this possible and made it so memorable. I didn't know this was going to be so much fun, and it absolutely has been. So congratulations to all our winners, all the finalists, and enjoy the rest of your night, and please stay safe.